Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 10. So, this week, as we're starting our part one of our final research project, the first thing we need to do is choose a topic, right? And so, I know it can be a little overwhelming to have such an open, like assignment where you could basically research anything. Some of you, I think, are going to immediately have ideas of things you could research. Some of you are going to have a really hard time. This might be the hardest part of the whole project is just choosing something. And so I've tried to give you some prompts on this assignment to kind of help you narrow it down. You could look at the Pew Research Center polls. You could look at Pop Culture Happy Hour page. You could look at science topics. You could look at pro con, which are like more kind of political, social topics. And basically, I just want you to choose anything that you think is interesting. It doesn't have to be something that feels academic, because remember, we're sharing this with the general public. So it doesn't have to be like a super scholarly topic. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So it could be something like, I've had students, a lot of students have researched like animals and stuff like that. People have researched things related to their field. Like a lot of people are in behavioral health, and so that's a common kind of area of research. I've had people research things that are just like pop culture that they're interested in. Like let's say they're like a big Batman fan or something, like they research Batman. You could do something really practical, like you need to start applying for new jobs or something like that, and so you're looking into things like doing interviews and resumes and things like that. Anything that would be helpful or interesting to you, it's completely up to you what you want to choose. And so like I said, this is going to just kind of help you narrow that down, and hopefully help you fill out things like your research question on the form. And then our other, we're really jumping in this week, right? So the other assignment we have this week is long form journalism. And what I want for you to do for this project is to find an article that is kind of long form, basically, right? And so most of the articles that you're going to find online are going to be short news brief types of articles, okay? And what I need you to do for this is to actually find something that is made to be more thorough or in depth. And so let me pull up some examples for you. I'm going to pause really quick. All right, my internet's being incredibly slow, but I'm hoping that this is going to work. So I went ahead and I looked up npr.org, which is free, and so it's a good source for news, because you don't have a paywall, right? And one of the ways that I can tell that this is a long form news source is because it says deep dive at the top. Okay, so that means that they're going to go into more depth. The other thing that I can tell that this is a long form news source is that it has headings. Okay, so we have like kind of an introduction here, giving us some context and like kind of maybe the latest news, and then here we are getting into more of the depth, right? They're going to break it down into parts and talk about this case with a little bit more thoroughness than with like a news brief. Okay, now let's see if it loaded. I think I just loaded a news brief. This is from the New York Times, which does have a paywall. We do technically have free access. See, I knew this was going to happen. Free access to the New York Times. But basically, the way that, and I know you can't see this because I can't see it either, but the way that I would be able to tell that this is a news brief is that it is very short. Maybe I scroll a little bit, but it's all just one big block of text probably. There's not headings. It's not going into depth. It's just telling me the basic news about a current topic. Okay. And so when I'm looking for long form news sources, and I am going to click on your links and look through the sources, I'm going to be looking for something that seems a little bit more thorough and in depth. And this is going to be good for your research projects, by the way, because when it's going into more depth like this, even though, hypothetically, this means you'd have to read the whole thing whenever you're doing your full research project, this is going to give you great background information that's going to be helpful for, creating the project, right? And so this is a really good place to start with research projects. And next time we're going to be getting into scholarly sources, which can be a little bit trickier. So hopefully this is a good one for you. Please let me know if you have any questions about our assignments this week, and I'll see you next week.